Well, hello, everyone. Oh boy, sometimes it takes a while for that notification. Literally, when I stop playing that music,
I know.
it popped up the notification. So we'll give everybody a minute to jump on still and say hi so that we can pull up the comments and so that we can see you. And the only way we can see you is if you comment in the comments, which help us find this page. I feel like sometimes with different presenters, it's always
It is. I don't see the notification yet, so start commenting or something because it hasn't popped up.
It's always that, okay, we're going to give you a minute for them to pop up, but then sometimes it takes a moment for them to pop up. So yeah, so we'll give a minute for Debbie to get her settings in right there. But in the meantime, I'm excited because I always look forward to, of course, Debbie, you sharing a little bit of more details of what you created with the Kiwi Club kits. If you guys aren't familiar, we do put out the monthly free digital idea book because we believe in really making sure that we share freely in inspiration to help you and each of us to work through that creator's process as much as possible and as successfully as possible, because in doing so, we constantly are strengthening what we refer to here as a creator's mindset. But with that all said, I was saying that sometimes in that PDF, you miss all the little details, and Debbie has a lot of details that she points out and focus to on her creation. So it's so fun to have this show and tell episode where we're able to hang out with Debbie for a bit and she's able to give us some of those insights and details to her creation. So are you seeing those comments? Who we got with us?
We have lots of people, so they're coming in pretty heavy. Some from Texas and Lakeville, Michigan, and also Lancaster, PA. Lots of people are there, so
exciting.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you to say these things, so I'll say them really fast and then turn the time over to Debbie. We have a short crafting episode or schedule this week. We have one tomorrow, so you can tune back tomorrow. We'll just be sharing, I'll be sharing a little bit into my albums and how I organize them and such. And then we're kind of just going to breathe for a little bit. We hope everyone has a wonderful 4th of July weekend. I can't believe I literally feel like I lost a week because
I know.
we were just in a meeting and I was like, wait, this weekend? Like this weekend? Like, and Debbie's actually coming out to my place.
Yes. It's
So
been a while since I've been to North Carolina.
it'll be fun to have you and she'll be staying with us.
It will be fun. We're looking forward to it. Are you going to give us good weather?
Well, are you going to get us good weather? Like
you're hot and humid, I hear. I've been looking.
You know what?
I think you're hotter than we are. What are you in temperature?
I don't know. I don't pay attention much. I just
Yeah, it's checking us out.
That's the reality for whatever it's worth. I don't need to be like
You're good right now.
Yeah, like when there's a breeze, even though it shows humidity, when there's a breeze, it just feels like you're at, like, it reminds me of tropical vacations, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the humidity.
Yeah. So
I'm used to that.
If there's a breeze, if there's not a breeze, that's really where you feel the effect of it, kind of thing.
Yes.
So, anyways.
Well, I'll sit in front of a fan if necessary, but I'm kind of used to the humidity, so we'll see.
The house is fine, like every place where you
have to go out.
I don't know. That's my conclusion, is that, you know, even with my sister that's in Oregon, sorry, we're talking weather. How's the weather where you guys are at? You know, it's hot heat wave over there too. And I was telling her, I was like, that just kind of proves to me that really the variable that's different between states, like I feel like all states have heat waves, right? At least 1 or 2 months out of the year kind of thing. The real thing to difference is winter. So that's the factor that everyone should be paying attention to. So anyway.
Winter's okay. Well, this last winter, let's not get started on that.
Exactly.
Remember Snowmageddon in Idaho? We had our Texas version of it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm turn it over to you. Let's see what.
All righty. Thanks, Susan, for the intro.
You bet.
I'll see you in a couple of days.
Right.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. You get this perfect view of my bedroom. My office isn't on this side of my bedroom. So when I moved my desk from this side, to the window so I can look out the window. Now you see everything. So this is the room that has not been done yet in this old house that I bought when I moved to Texas. So this is what you see. I'm so happy to be here with you today to share with you what I did with Kiwi Club for June. Here's what June is. Enjoy the journey. And since it's the last day of the month, you've probably seen a whole lot of samples, and I have just some great ideas. So I just want to remind you that I get this a couple of months before any of you do. And I actually don't know what's coming until I open it. I'm not in on that part of the company where I do the planning. And I like the surprise. I've been a kind of monthly kit club lover for a lot of years, especially in scrapbooking. So it's fun to have that again. I really enjoy it. And what was so cool about this month, Enjoy the Journey, is that back in March, I have a birthday in early March. My daughter Rachel and I decided to take a road trip to San Antonio, Texas, where we hadn't been before. And so we took pictures. And so when I got the kit, I opened it up and saw these papers and the fun templates, especially this doodle sheet, this kind of travel doodle sheet. And so I was so excited because I have pictures. Sometimes I have to really hunt for pictures, or I have to, since my kids aren't home anymore, I don't take as many pictures as I used to, especially of kind of children and families and stuff, until I gather with all mine, which I have plenty of. But this time I had pictures. It was fun. It was fun to get that. So I just want to share with you what I did. So the first one, Susan, I was laughing at her as she was talking about Debbie's details, because the first one is very simple. I kept it simple just for the design that I wanted for the Riverwalk. So in San Antonio, Texas, there's something called the Riverwalk, and it's a river going through the town with kind of walkways and places for people to sit at tables. There's restaurants and so on lining it. And it just meanders through the town. And I actually saw it on I'm showing my age, but I saw it on I think it was a Disney movie so long ago when my kids were little. But I remember thinking that's pretty cool to have, like almost like a canal going through your town. So when I discovered that it was here in Texas, that was the road trip we decided to take to go see the Riverwalk. So the first one is this layout. Let me always. Yep, I think I have it right. And we did a couple of things just to show you. You'll see at the bottom that I used Cascade Trails. I'll show you the riverside, because it reminded me of the river, and I wanted that feel about it where we had, kind of the feel of just a meandering river. You can see in the picture that it just kind of goes through the town. They have boats that they will let people, ride on, and they'll just take them all through it. And then the restaurants and different shops along the side. So I kind of was trying to create that feel with my border. And so I chose Cascade, and it runs across the bottom of both pages. And then I just chose a strip because although the walkway is curved, I just wanted kind of that walkway feel along with the river. So I kept it very simple on the borders. And to dress it up, I used the doodle sheet extensively on this one. So let me show you what that doodle sheet looks like. I definitely we have the scenic route set that came with it. And it has 4 pieces. 2 of them are these arrow strip, something almost an arrowhead type strip. And then we have this doodle sheet, and we have one other that's buried with the layout I used it on. I'll show you that in a minute. But that was this piece, kind of a direction pointer is kind of what I think about it. So but this doodle sheet is fantastic. We've been getting some doodle sheets lately, and I haven't really done a lot with them, to tell you the truth. But this one I played with a lot, and it really made the difference, and in such a simple way that dressed up this layout. And I'm going to show you kind of the thing. So here you'll see that this is like a travel doodle sheet, You've got adventure, you've got some borders, different kind of borders here that you can use for doodling on or marking on something. You've got a cityscape, and these are some buildings. You've got some, you know, direction pointers like on a map, or like a pin to put in a map. You've got a little tiny plane, a car, kind of a trail, some compass type things, camera. It's so useful. You can use it on so many ways. So on this one, I wanted to focus on the fact that it was a road trip. So we did have a card in it that said road trip. It was perfect. And then travel log. So I used these both above here. And look at this little bitty car I made. I like little things, which is why I have 8 kids and 26 grandkids. But all you have to do on the doodle sheet is take it, place a paper behind it, and then trace it. You can trace it with, I use a fine tip black marker for the black. This is just one I have in my bag, a Stettler one. If I want it white, I use the Jelly Roll, which are so popular. I know Shiloh on her last one talked about Jelly Roll, and I've got some of those too in different sizes. This is an 8, a 10, and I think I have a 5. So depending on if the paper is light and you want it to do it dark to show it more, or dark and you want the light to show it more, it's kind of fun to have both. So this time I was using the light and I just traced it. Again, I'll show you the little car on the layout. And there are a couple of ways that you can trace it. The actual stencil part, the sun there, can you see it now? You can, there you go. You can just trace it just on the outside of one of the sets of lines because it's they parallel. So like I did here, whoops, there. Or you can fill in the lines like I did there. You just trace around the whole thing and then fill it in with your marker, and then trace some other things. And what I wanted to do is actually cut it out, have it be a piece. So I used it both as a stencil for tracing, but then I went ahead and cut it out, which is how I made it. So it was super easy to do. I was able to just eyeball cut it out, and I left a little dip below the wheels so that they look like tires, which gave me this little guy. I colored in the windows, and you can't hardly see, but the front light, the headlight, I colored that in with the yellow, kind of cool yellow. I love that. It was fun. I also used the stencil, the doodle sheet for this part right here. You can see it traced like that. So on some of the things that came in the cards, we had like capture the moment. And on this page, we had take the scenic route. And I did use that. So I just placed the stencil right over it. And then I used it to trace some lines around the words. This one I dashed. You can't see it as well. It's in black. This one I did in white. You can see it a little better. So I just took it from the printout on the card. I placed that over it and used my white pen. And I also did it around the title Travelog right there, just to make it stand out some more. So it was fun. The other thing I did, oh, and one more thing I did, and it shows here. On this tag that I created, I used the stencil sheet. You'll see kind of postage lines here, right there. And you'll also see this kind of pointer map, you know, like a location on a map right there. So what I did was I traced the stencil lines right onto the tag, the postage lines. I used one of these borders right there, just little squares. And I did that here at the top like this. And then I traced and cut out from a piece of paper the map pointer. And then I just, this came on a card too, so I just cut that out and put it together. It was super quick and easy, but it's a cute, simple design that goes along with the theme, and I really enjoyed doing that. So that's my simple one. Let's check questions super quick, mostly hi and people are watching. It's so good to see you here. And some people have even been to the Riverwalk, so that's awesome. All right, so then after I did that one, the other pictures, the other place we visited when we were in San Antonio was the Alamo. So the Alamo is there, and it's right there by the Riverwalk. You don't have to even move your car. You can just park somewhere and then walk to the Alamo, walk to the Riverwalk. So it was awesome. All right, so on this layout, I had a few more pictures, and I actually used the sketch that's included in the PDF, the idea book PDF. Let me see if I was gonna, yeah, share. One participant, multiple. I was gonna share and show you that PDF, but I'm not sure. Ah, I can. All right, so let's see if this works. Hey, would you comment there and tell me if you can see this PDF on your screen now, please? So I make sure. Oh, I can see it now on the live. So every month we create a digital PDF, and I wanted to show you this month what it looks like. If you haven't ever downloaded it and taken a look at it, you'll find so many good details in it. It's wonderful. Shiloh, Susan, and I every month get the kit early. We scrapbook. We don't know what each other is doing. We just scrapbook what works for us, just like you would do for you. And then we send all the pictures and projects and notes over to have this digital PDF created. And this is what you can get for free. It's in the shop. You just go ahead and go in there and look for idea books, and then look for 2021, and then just pick the month that you want. You can purchase it for free. You do have to check out through the cart, but it's free. And then it shows up in your downloads. When you're logged into your account, you click on the account tab on the left and you go to your downloads. It'll be there. I just downloaded it from there because I do the same thing every month. But what this does is gives you, this is 22 pages of ideas of what we did and any tips and tricks that we had while we did it. So I wanted to share with you the sketch that's now included. A few months ago, or maybe the beginning of the year, we started including a sketch of the month. We get this ahead of time, and so we can base one of our layouts on the sketch. And that's what I did for this Alamo layout. So I wanted to show you that. But you can also see all of the different things. There's also additional videos that Susan might have created, or any of us, where you can see like how she created the buildings using the doodle sheet and these bits right here and so on. So all of the things that I made are in it. Here's the one I just talked about. And then this is the one that I'm talking about now. So I wanted to share that with you. Also, since I'm up here sharing, I wanted to show you that this is the kit that we have the spelling errors on. And so what they did was create a free printable, which you can also download from the blog. You just go to kiwilane.com and click on the blog link at the top. And then you can go to the craft and events, the online craft and events. And then you'll see an article that talks about this. Mindy did this for us. So this is cool because the spelling errors were fixed, and there's ways that you can actually, use a template to trace around this and add it to your layout. So, and they always give you extras. So Mindy every month does that free printable. And so they've got some extra sayings. I just wanted to make sure that you knew about these things for this kit this month. So I think they're pretty important. And so hopefully you'll go in there and take a look at that stuff. Now you should be seeing me again. Let me know if you don't, but otherwise. So I had that, I showed you quickly that. Let's see if I can get this right. I will redo it. I think that's right. So this one is the Alamo, and it was based on that sketch that we were given that is in the idea book. And I'm going to show you one at a time what I did with this one. I had never been to the Alamo before. I don't know if any of you have, but it's so fun. It's really enlightening, really great to see. Of course, we're wearing our masks, which you were doing there. This is the other piece that's in the set right here that came with it. It's great. It's perfect. It was a perfect spot for Remember the Alamo, the title that I wanted to do. Rachel and I took pictures there of just the Alamo itself, and some of the events and people that were there. Here's the other side of that. Okay. And just statues. There was so much. There was a museum. There was so much to learn. I highly recommend visiting the Alamo. So on this one, I used, I used rings over here. I used from the scenic route here, and I used this tiny travel 7T like that. And I used it in conjunction with the doodle sheet. So after I had cut this out from the red paper, I placed the doodle sheet on top of it because right here, you'll see this. And it fit beautifully right over this arrow with a bit of a border left so that I take my white pen and just trace over it and bring some detail to the arrow. And I loved that. I loved that. It was so fun. And I like the way it turned out. Well, I wanted to carry that feel over to the other side here. So I used this arrow strip like that. But at the end, it wasn't working perfectly to trace. And you'll see what I've done at the end. So what I did instead is this time I actually cut it out. So I cut it out and then I kind of adhered it on top of the end arrow right there so that I could have that feel going all the way across the page. You can see that. It turned out really well. The other thing I did on this one with the doodle sheet was I used this spot again right here on tracing another one of these words. Photo up right there. And that was cute. And also, I took the end piece, after I cut this out, I took this piece that I had to cut out and I tucked it under here. I just thought, well, it's already cut, let's use it. And then I used the doodle sheet to add, it's kind of a compass rose type of thing. I actually traced the black lines and then this is cut out. So I went ahead and cut out the middle part right there. There. And then glued it on top and that worked really well too. The other things I did were where I used tags at the bottom. It was part of the sketch. It was really cool to do. And one of them had the words already printed, but I kind of doodled with the doodle sheet some of that. And so the doodle sheet is to me the star. I love this, this kind of directional thing, and I love these arrows. But in combination with the doodle sheet, it really, really, you can dress up your page without using a lot of money or a lot of embellishments, and just add some special touches. That and a couple of fine tipped pens kind of made all the difference for mine. After I finished with that one, let me check on any questions. Becky Coburn, it is hot in the summer. I went in March to the Alamo. So you do want to avoid maybe some of the hottest weather. Fall or spring, I would recommend. A lot of people have been. Okay, I managed to get one more layout done, but I had to kind of finagle it a bit. Let's move this one out of the way. I will need that. Okay, so I had more pictures from another event. Because this was a travel one and I had some pictures that were taken at an airport, I wanted to do a layout with that. I just had enough to manage a one-page layout. And the way I managed it was this. So this is just a piece of plain white cardstock. And I had bits of paper left but I didn't have a 12 by 12 backing paper left at all. So instead, I took a piece of white cardstock and then I used it to tape all the other parts to it. So this is taped to it. Then this middle section is taped to the white. And then these border sections are taped to the white, but it worked. And I was able to get a one-page layout done with the rest of the paper that I had. And this is a layout of my son, Matthew. He's my youngest. He returned from a mission to Dallas, Texas for our church. And just a couple of weeks or so later, my first grandson, Jason, Shiloh's son, they both were out serving missions for 2 years. So we were so excited to see them. He returned and we were able to go from Texas to Idaho to see him when he got off the plane. So I wanted to, keep these memories in our scrapbook. And again, I used placemat 4. If you haven't used this one yet, this is so cute. This works really well. I just flipped it and did it that way. And then also I used a tag because I wanted to add an extra picture to it. So I put the tag here and just added a picture and dressed it up. I used the scenic route arrows. This time I put you get 2 sets in there. So this time I put them together, but I cut them out in different, but I went ahead and layered them together to put across the bottom. And I used tiny travel again. This is cute. Again, I like little things. This cute little airplane, which was perfect for this airport one. And I just cut different pieces out of different patterns and colors and put them together with some epoxy dots. So then I had this card that came in it. Right here, destination found. And these are pictures of when they flew home. So they hadn't been home for 2 years. So I used destination found, let's go home. And I did the same thing with this little blue airplane that I did with the car on the first one. So I took the doodle sheet and there's this little, oh, there it is. There's this little airplane down here at the bottom. So I did the same thing. I went ahead and traced it out with a white pen, giving it a good dark border with it. And then I just cut it out. I also did it with the camera. The camera turned out so cute. It was so adorable. Let me show you. I highly recommend trying this camera this way, but you just use your white Jolly Roll pen with the stencil, which is right here, there. And then you just cut out around it. I hope you can see that. And it turned out so completely adorable. And I went ahead and popped those off the cards so that the title of it was Destination Found, Let's Go Home. And that's what we were celebrating when we met at the airport. They hadn't seen each other for 2 years and we hadn't seen our sons for 2 years. So it was a really good day for our family. So those are the things I got done this time. I did the simple layout. I did the Alamo layout, and I managed to piece together enough to do a single page layout. And that worked really great for me. I've seen so many cute things online though. I don't get the printables. When we get the kit, I don't get the printables. They're not released until you guys see them. So I never have those when I use the kit. And there are some really cute printables. So I hope that you'll go in and download those, and that you'll also download the idea book. There's so many other ideas and tips and tricks and cute. They have a behind the scenes photo of Susan taking a picture in the road, because that's Susan. That's what she does. Yeah. So it was pretty cool. I liked it. Let's see if you have any questions before we go. If you have any questions, post them now. Nikki, Lisa, Tina, Marciava, Jennifer, so many people. Thank you so much for joining us today. I just want to remind you that today is June 30th, which means if you are watching and you are not a Kiwi Club member, you have time to sign up today to get the July kit, because you have to sign up a month before. So when you pay for your subscription, you're paying for the next month's kit. So today's June 30th. You still have till the end of the day to sign up for Kiwi Club, and then you will get the July kit, which will be shipping out a couple of weeks from now. They're running behind. We haven't received them from the manufacturer yet. So we'll get those out to you as quickly as we can. And I just want to remind you, if we have no other questions, to share your creations with us. And we love to see them. We love to get inspired by them. And we love it when you share and post your creations with us. We hope you will do so and that you have a lovely day. If you have any questions, you can always email support@kiwilane.com. That's my department. And we'll be happy to help you with anything that you need help with. I hope you have a lovely day and that it's good weather. Thanks, you guys, for joining us. Bye-bye.